back to Mortals and Portals, the last episode of Mortals and Portals ever. I'm your host, GM, Zach, and joining me at the table for now is...
Adam, and I play Jules.
I'm Joel, and I play
Dax, a kobold rogue who's about to save the day.
Ryan, I play Tough.
Taryn and I play Walt's human champion. Let's do it, Daxie.
And Josh and I play Don Enarquiano de las Nubes, and I'm gonna ride this T-Rex today.
All right, you are.
Gosh darn tootin' you are.
Oh my goodness,
I'm digging the
pretty
Dax
stressed.
energy. Let's go.
Yeah, look, we've spent some time. We're making sure we know our characters work. We're like in the mindset. We're doing this teamwork stuff.
Don't
promising
tell
a lot.
that.
Yeah,
We had to have like a debrief moment.
yeah. We're like, are we all
They're
gonna
gonna think we
we
know
still
now.
might all die. I don't know. Yeah, I say we. I'm the one doing the killing. Actually, I'll be fine. The T-Rex. I can make as many
My
T-Rexes as I want.
It's yours.
Wait. Don't worry.
I don't like
I'm
this
gonna do
energy.
the whole like
T-Rexes
Jurassic Park sequel thing where there's now going to be 2 T-Rexes in the part 2 of this episode. So yeah, just
Someone
more is
discovers
sequel.
jewels encased in amber underneath them.
Yeah. All right.
What could
Oh
be
my
more
goodness.
intense than one T-Rex?
Yeah. Look, this is a short recap,
T-Rexes.
guys. Last time on Mortals and Portals,
Dinosaurs.
dinosaurs happened. They went through the node. It's someplace in the jungle. It's dark. It's rainy. Renard got his bearings and could sense the Flora de Vida. He knows they're near it. He knows where to go. He's gonna start going there. And then some Velociraptors showed up, and they were like, "Oh man, we'll each have one Velociraptor to fight. What a cool, interesting fight!" And then some lightning struck, and it scared the Velociraptors, and they ran off. But they weren't actually scared of the lightning. Turns out there's a T-Rex behind you, and just started trampling people. It got nuts. Everyone's like free for all, running around doing stuff. And then Jules was being heroic, trying to like lure it away so everyone could like run off. But like Jules' short little legs compared to the T-Rex's massive.
You don't have to insult me and then kill me.
He didn't run as far as he thought. The T-Rex got up in like one step, sniffed, found him, and then stepped on him. And now Jules is unconscious, and Renard is hanging from the T-Rex, and Tuff's up in a tree, and Waltz and Dax are trying to figure out what to do. And that's where we end our session. So that's where we'll start our session with Dax. Dax, it is pouring rain, it is dark, it is muddy, it is chaos, T-Rex is roaring, the rain is whipping around, and you just heard Jules, a massive stomp in the last area you knew he was at. Things aren't looking good. What do you do?
So he's moved past me at this point. I am no longer
Yes.
next to him.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, Dax is going to close the distance to this T-Rex, just get right under him and use his striking sword to swipe at his, I guess, ankles. Dax is pretty small. Hacking at these Achilles.
All right, roll it up.
Here we go. You got it. Oh, hey, Zach, do we have hero points?
Yeah, you all have hero points.
Okay.
For sure.
Adam,
Gosh,
you have hero
I forget.
points.
Yeah, you do have hero
great.
points.
Wait, I use mine now.
It's not your turn.
What happened?
You won.
I won, guys. I won Pathfinder.
Congratulations.
That is a 16.
Right, so you run up, slide through the mud, and swipe your sword at its ankle, and it clanks off its ankle bone, and your sword vibrates in your hand, and then you stand up to your feet. What do you do with your third action?
And I'm just going to hack again.
All right.
Come on. That is a 20.
You are going to try and swing again, and the T-Rex turns as it sensed you swing at it last time, and as its tail whips back around, you have to cut your swing short and duck and matrix slide under its tail and are unable to swing your sword. And that will take us to Waltz.
Can I interject with my delay action?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Tough is going to look down at what he thought was a good plan, with Jules being a distraction, but then seeing his buddy flattened on the ground. And just say to himself, ah, crap. And first action he's going to do is take out his pistol, load it with a healing shot, aim for his buddy, and take fire.
Ooh,
So this is the
nice.
first time I'm
Okay.
using the life shot, like actually as like
Rather
a
than
shot.
blowing Gelder's head off.
Yeah, and like something that I think I have to roll for. So
Okay.
I do have to roll an attack roll for it. It does say if the target is willing to be hit that they are flat-footed against it. I don't know if Jules being knocked out counts as that though.
I'll count that. Okay. Because he's also technically like prone, and I think with ranged attacks that affects it. But since you're elevated in a tree, and he's your companion, and he's not moving, I will give the flat-footed trait with his AC for your shot.
Beautiful. So what does that do to his AC?
It reduces it by 2.
2. Okay, because if I crit on it, then it doubles the amount of healing that it does as well. So here goes nothing. Uh-oh. Okay, 26.
I'm guessing that hits, Jules.
Probably not critting though. I'm
Not
guessing.
a critical, no.
Right? Okay.
Okay, roll up the healing and
So-
I'll describe.
That is a D4 plus, and it says the bonus is 1, so I'm guessing plus 1. Hey, maximum. So you get 4 plus 1, which is don't
5.
tell me. Okay, so don't. Tell me, whatever.
All right, Tough. You load the healing shot, aim down your scope, maybe raise your hand up for a moment and wipe some of the rain off your scope as it's obscuring your vision. There's just a T-Rex roaring and things coming in between your line of sight. You see Dax go and swing his sword, and it distracts the T-Rex for a moment, and as it lifts its tail, it opens a sliver of an opening to see Jules lying there as he's somewhat depressed in the ground through the massive footprint left, and you fire this shot. It hits him square in the chest. Jules, you feel it like a defibrillator, just like a jolt of energy in you. And you sit upright immediately. It's just soaked in rain, caked in mud. You look down and see this dart in your chest as magical liquid is being pumped into your chest and replenishing some of your hit points. And you just see this T-Rex directly over you, Dax nearby, Reynard hanging off this loud roar, thunder, lightning. Everything is still going on. And what do you do with your third action?
As Jules is looking up at this T-Rex, he'll just see behind the T-Rex waving in a tree is Tough, and I'll just say, "Hey, alive is a much better look on you, buddy."
I'll just look at him, and with a smirk, I'll just shake my head at him. I don't know if I can really say anything right now.
And then for my last action, Tough will sigh to himself, "Now's as good a time as any," and he'll flip open his forearm compartment and very, very quickly start taking out some pieces of what looks like pieces of a gun with multiple shafts and chambers and this kind of big revolver grip looking thing, and piecing this together really, really fast until he has this big two-handed, like I said, almost giant looking revolver that just has different shaft compartments that it puts different munitions in, and this is
I think
essentially
barrels
just...
is the word you're looking for.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of like shaft compartments.
You guys have heard of gun shafts.
Barrels
Last
also
episode we
sounds
said our show wasn't sexual enough
cooler,
apparently,
too.
so now Ryan's like, how many
Staring
times did I
down
say
the gun
shaft?
shaft of a 45. Right,
barrels sounds way cooler too, so I think I'll go with that. So yeah, he's
Down
like,
the gun shaft of
That's the title of the episode. Staring down the gun shaft of a 45.
so I hope you guys are picturing this at least. The main barrel of the gun is a whole bunch of barrels, and it looks cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Alright.
I get you.
Super cool.
This is my way of essentially flavoring the infused reagents archetype from having an alchemist dedication way long ago that I just never really got to use up to this point. And so Tough's gonna piece this thing together, kind of stand because it's almost awkward for this tiny little cat guy to hold, and he's gonna load up one of these shafts / barrels.
He's head shaft one more time.
You should call it the shaft. That should be the name of the gun.
The shaft.
That's a good
dude.
name for a gun, shaft.
Ryan's like, man, I want this
Actually,
reveal to be sick, and we're all just laughing at him like, shaft.
That's
Okay, so that's
Pathfinder, isn't it?
basically a really
That's
cool way to describe
Pathfinder,
that you are
baby.
drawing this weapon and
that I'm
preparing
drawing,
something.
and then technically also loading it up with a goo grenade. So this
Yeah,
would be
'cause-
similar to an alchemist just taking this bomb out, but I'm treating it as this
We're
secondary
reflavoring it.
gun that I have. Yeah,
So cool.
where I
Sick.
put these down the barrels of this gun. That'll be my turn.
And after 2 hours of recording, the T-Rex has taken 0 damage. And that'll take us to Walt.
Is that true?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Waltz will feel the electricity of the storm around him. Maybe feel it resonating within his shield and try and channel it through his own willpower and point it at the T-Rex and cast Electric Arc.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Waltz
Yes,
technically has arcane tattoos, and we've reflavored this a bit. So when his shield transformed and you got that eye etched into it, that emblem starts to glow, and like even the fringes of the shield start to glow, and you see electricity dance around it, and your eyes even glow blue for a moment, and you lash out and cast out this lightning bolt. Can you roll your attack roll?
So
That's
he
awesome.
makes a reflex save.
Ooh, okay.
Or she, I don't know the gender.
You could ask him, yeah. I mean, you've been doing everything but attack. You might as well have a conversation with it. So.
Dang.
And what do they have to beat?
I have no idea.
Light. Beat the light.
DC 19 attack plus 9.
The T-Rex failed, so roll the
Yes.
effects with a failure.
Nice.
And let's
So
do
he
some
would just
damage.
take 4d4 damage. 9 damage.
Yes!
Let's go.
Let's go.
How does it
done
feel,
for
T-Rex?
now.
Gods can
Yeah.
bleed.
Take
We
that,
do
you
that.
just
Beam of
faced the
lightning.
wrath of Digsby's crew +1.
A beam of lightning crackles off of Waltz's fingertips and latches onto this T-Rex, and a bolt jolts up its spine. It may even spark your fingers for a moment, Reynard. You gotta switch to your other hand as you slip and then catch your sword again as you're hanging from it. And the T-Rex, you see its eyes even flare blue for a moment as the electricity works through its body, and it lets out a bit of a whimpery growl, snarl. And what do you do with your third action? Was that a 2-action spell?
Yep, that's a 2-action spell. Waltz will say, "Oh, looks like I can shoot lightning too." All right, let's go, ugly.
Just like the
And-
T-Rex.
Yeah, exactly. And
Lightning with lightning.
for my last action, I'll raise my shield, hoping that it comes to me, and I'll have IAC, and he won't even be able to do nothing because he's
Yeah.
just a stupid
Yeah,
T-Rex.
he rolls pretty bad, so yeah. Dude, I love it. Yeah, he furrows his T-Rex brow. Do they have emotes? I don't know. And snarls, still with some of your flesh in its teeth from when it bit you earlier. And that'll take us to Renard.
All right. I've been thinking about this. The first thing I want to do is I would like to command Cervantes
Okay.
to fly in front of the T-Rex just to kind of get its attention. So doing a probably
Diversion.
acrobat. Yeah, an aid actually is what I'm looking for.
Oh, okay.
So I would like it to give me an aid, which is typically a DC 20. It's kind of the GM's discretion.
Okay.
So the whole idea is that if he successfully achieves the aid, then I get a plus to my move.
Okay. But you're going to make the move regardless, right?
Correct. It's
All
a
right, let's roll it
reaction.
up.
So an ally is about to use an action, and then the aid triggers. So I'm about to attack him with my rapier.
All right. You roll up your stuff, and then I'll describe it as one thing, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
So tell me what it is without the aid, and then I'll add
All
a
right.
circumstance in my head if it needs it.
Cervantes, to the sky, get his attention. And then I'll roll. Come on, dice. 25.
Okay. So you're attacking with your sword, correct?
Correct.
The T-Rex is trudging towards Waltz. It's moving at this very fast pace where you're rocking up and down and feel like you wouldn't be able to get a good stab, and you yell out to Cervantes. Cervantes chirps back at you, kicks off the ground, and soars and tilts sideways, opening its wings, creating this wide obstruction in his vision, blocking his sight to Waltz, and swirls around his head for a moment and then takes upwards. The T-Rex whips its head upwards and stretches its neck outwards, and its jaws like no longer protecting it, and you see this weak moment, and you take your rapier and stab it, and it connects into its throat, this very tight small stab in this gargantuan creature, and you rip it out and see blood shoot out of its neck, and you roll me damage.
Yes.
Yeah, give us some
Nice.
damage.
Yeah.
All right, 8. And that's one action, right?
Yes.
Or that's
Oh,
2.
well,
you
you
command
you command an animal, yeah.
attack, and then I'll just attack again. I mean, it's a lot less likely to hit, but it's worth it if I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so close to it. 18. It's a 14 altogether.
Okay. And you go to try and stab one more time. You're just like ferociously stabbing while you see this opening. But after the first one hits, it quickly snaps its head back down, and your rapier collides with its jawbone and just clanks right off and bends again and wobbles back and forth. And the T-Rex snarls, definitely very aware that you were on him now and upset. There you go, Taryn. Gender reveal. I said him, I guess.
Oh, thank you.
Gender reveal.
Dude.
But nothing's
good
on
job,
fire.
Renard.
These gender reveals are getting out of hand.
Then a forest is destroyed.
All right, that's it for me.
Awesome. And that'll take us to Jules.
Realizing that we're not going to run from this thing, it's got to be a fight. He'll take his ocarina out, start to get up, take a knee, and he will say to his companions, "All right, boys, let's T-wreck this T-Rex."
Oh, gosh. All right, shoot him again. Shoot him.
Oh no, we
just
all
kill me now.
just got negative circumstance bonus.
No, he'll just say, "All right, boys, let's do this," and he will cast Inspire Courage.
Let's
he
go.
does.
Wow, thank you.
So we'll play a little teeny melody. So now you guys have +1 to attack rolls, damage rolls, and saves against fear effects, which we're
Dude.
not scared of this thing, so we don't have to worry about that.
That's
I bet
for
it
one
has
round,
a
right?
fear ability though.
Maybe. Don't encourage him, Josh. Okay, so that's my first action. My second action, is there a rock nearby?
Telekinetic projectile.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, dog.
Okay, I will do that then. And
You're gonna throw the rock at him? He's gonna beat
Yeah.
him up.
Do you smell what the rock's cooking?
I hope he gives the T-Rex the people's elbow.
that is a 28.
Nice.
Jules, you look towards this rock and you tilt your hand upwards and start to raise it, but then squint your eyes for a moment and drop the rock, and then look near this tree stump that you're leaned up against and see a rather sharp-looking piece of bark attached to it, and then pull it off from the tree, and then look exactly where Reynard had stabbed his rapier and thrust it outwards and stab the bark into the hole and widen it. Can you roll me damage?
I will roll you damage. That is 12.
Dang, nice.
Still out of
I'm
damage.
back, baby.
So this bark fires into that hole and then just splinters and fractures as it grazes against its tough skin, and you just see a lot of shards of wood stabbed in there as the T-Rex lets out another angry snarl and whips its head back and forth. Is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn,
All
sir.
right. And that'll take us to Tough. Your turn earlier was
Okay.
from a delay from the last episode. So
Correct.
here's your turn for this round.
I just loaded up my cool new gun that everybody agrees is really cool looking.
Yeah,
with
because
a
of all the
goo-
shafts.
Yeah.
with a goo grenade. I'm gonna say hello to my gooey friend. I'm gonna blast him with it.
Do
All
it.
right. Do it.
All right, here I go. Nice. 31.
Dang, that hits, dude.
Yes. When you hit a creature with a goo grenade, that creature takes persistent acid damage and a circumstance penalty to its speeds from the clinging goo. Target can end any penalties, condition, and persistent damage caused by the bomb by escaping or spending a total of 3 interact actions to pry themselves free of the ooze. These actions have to be consecutive, and other creatures can provide the actions as well. Blah, blah, blah. I gain a +1 item bonus to attack rolls, so maybe that gives me 32 actually, which I still don't
After
think
you
crit.
hit it. Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't think crit hits anyway.
Yeah, no one crit. All right, you fire this goopy sludge ball that flies through the air in this like non-perfect sphere. You can even see chunks kind of being lost along the way as it churns its way through the air, and it hits this T-Rex around the waist and kind of cakes all over its knees and legs. Some of it is getting stuck to the ground as it starts to stumble, and you see acid splashing off of it and singeing its skin, even splashing upwards towards Reynard, who is on the T-Rex, because this does splash damage.
Whoops.
Can you roll me the damage applied? So I think there's only 2 splash damage is going to be applied to Reynard as it splashes up on you.
That is 4 damage.
Total, like with all the other stuff applied?
And then there's 2 persistent acid and 2 splash.
Yeah, which he won't take until the end of his turn. So, okay, I got that noted. Nice. I'm pretty sure Tough has hurt everyone at least a little bit. No, that was Ryu. Ryu would always do the surgeon.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Ryan. Ryan likes it.
What's the
Welcome to
common
group.
factor in these situations?
I don't know.
Tough will get all excited after blasting this T-Rex with his goo grenade shot from his newly formed weapon and go, aha, it works. That's a relief.
I am so happy for you.
Sorry, Dong, forgot you're there. And then last couple actions here, Tough will say, haven't had enough, huh? And he'll throw his new gun onto his back where it kind of sticks there, maybe magnetically or something like that. And again, that's not an action because technically I threw a bomb. I didn't actually use a gun for this, so don't at me. And then I'll spin out my revolver, which is an action, and then take a shot at the T-Rex.
All right, do it.
Okay.
Man, you're like doing like a Trigun tournament, like just switching
Yeah.
through everything.
Oh, I love track.
Yeah,
It's another
Trigun was
John
kind
Wick.
of what I was imagining with it, yeah.
Dude.
So it's cool looking, okay? Would be cool if I hit him, but I didn't. I only got 19.
All right, you whip out your pistol after quickly swapping between your weapons and fire off another shot, and it just so happens to hit like at a spot where the goop was like on the T-Rex, and it just kind of gets absorbed into the goop and like dampens the shot and actually like protects him as you're trying to
Hey.
like make out all this hazy commotion going on.
How dare you use my own weapon against me?
And that'll take
Ah,
us
crap.
to the T-Rex, finally, who is eager to stomp on people, eat them, and all of that.
Such simple ones.
All right, so this T-Rex is feeling like pretty overwhelmed at the moment. So Dax is around his ankles, swinging at him with a sword. He's getting shot by projectiles. Waltz is firing lightning at him. Just a lot going on. So the first thing he's going to do, just feeling Dax swinging around his ankles, he is going to try and stomp on him just to get him out of the way the best he can. So does a 31. Is that a crit?
Oh, it's not actually.
Oof. All right. Lucky dog. And Dax, as you're swinging this sword, you see this foot raised up ahead, blocking out all vision, and comes stomping down as you try and dive out of the way, but it catches your lower half of your body and stomps you into the ground and deals 21 damage.
Ouchie.
Are you still up? Mm-hmm. Oh, man. And it starts to trudge forward a little bit after it stepped on you. It's going to steer its head backwards as far back as it can, reaching towards Reynard, trying to grab just his foot as he hangs there. He maybe can't get all the way around to grab all of them, but he's going to try and clamp him in his jaws. Is a 35 a crit?
It is.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Is Josh and the T-Rex both within 15 feet of me?
Yeah.
Josh
Sweet.
is comfortably in his attic
Sorry,
on a
not
chair.
Josh. Reynard.
Josh is safe.
Don Reynard.
He is within
Okay,
15 feet
cool.
of you, so you can
Okay,
keep that in
good to
mind
know.
if you want to.
Yeah.
Would a hero point help me out in this situation?
It may keep you alive if you need it. So the jaws grab onto your foot and rip you off from like where you're hanging around his neck and start to fling you forward as you're dangling from its mouth, and you feel your leg tearing as he deals 31 damage.
Oh my god.
Jeez. I would like to use Liberating Step if I could. GM Zach Ernesti.
Okay.
So I free an ally from restraint. If the trigger was an ally taking damage, the ally gains resistance to all damage against the triggering damage equal to 2 plus your level, so 7.
So you actually took 24 damage as you're dangling there. So, yes, so you can attempt to break free of its jaws because this T-Rex does have a hold of you. So as Waltz raises his hand, you start to see glowing like golden aura around you that starts to heal some of the wounds as you're in its mouth and start to fill you with the power temporarily that you didn't originally have. And you can attempt to break free of these jaws. So can you roll me an athletics check?
Athletics. I rolled a 10. That's a 20.
you feel this power in you, and you start to try and do this crunch to like sit upright even as you're dangling from your leg and it's pinned in there, and you go and try and punch this T-Rex in the head as much as you can, just feverishly just trying to do anything to get it to let go, and it flings you, maintaining grip on you, and just throws you to the side towards a tree. You failed the escape check, and it is using another ability that has called Fling, and is going to throw you 20 feet away.
Okay. Would that be like a fall?
Yeah, and it threw you 10 feet in the air, as well as it threw you, and you were up a bit from its height. So you're going to fall 25 feet, and you're going to take falling damage from
I
that.
can reduce the fall.
Ooh,
I have
yeah.
I have a feat,
Nice.
guys. Remember we have feats? I have a feat
Yeah, oh,
called
yeah.
I got 2 of
called
them.
cat fall.
Pays to know your
And
character.
if my if your acrobatics are expert trained, which mine are expert, you treat falls as 25 feet shorter.
Hey.
And you fell
fantastic.
25 feet.
Convenient.
So he throws you, and you're still sort of filled with this like adrenaline as you were punching it, and you see he was throwing you towards this tree, and you quickly spin around, kick off the tree, and front flip forward, and then
that's
hero land in the mud as your blood is just mixing with the rain and the mud puddles, and you're breathing heavily, but you did just a super sick ability. That is crazy. That was actually really
Now
cool.
I know it's
did
not my
you did.
turn, but would that count as panache?
I'll give you panache for that, man.
Let's
That's
go.
pretty sick, actually.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'll give you
Panache
for
them
that.
up.
We're rallying, gang.
Panache.
We're rallying. Let's do this.
Look at that
They should
teamwork,
call
man.
it Pinjosh.
Yeah, they should.
I'd like to get some pajash.
And that will take us to Dax. Wow, that could have been a lot worse. Wow.
Wow, after that really cool turn, mine is probably going to be kind of boring. As the T-Rex walks away from Dax being smashed, he'll look down in anger at his hand yet again. It'll start to glow a light blue, and he will cast Ray of Frost again at this T-Rex. Try to get after it. There we go. That's a little better. 25.
Yes,
That
sir.
Let's
Dex.
go.
Remember, you get +1.
Yeah, that is 10 damage.
Dang, dude. Nice.
Real good.
All right, Dax, you clench your fist tight, and normally you would have like released this power as it's filling in your hand earlier, but you remember last time it didn't quite cut through the rain, and it was just like throwing it off, and you're letting it charge and charge and charge, and then you thrust your hand outward, and this frigid beam knifes into its wounds and just starts to crack and fracture its skin as like these scales start to harden and chip and freeze as all this ice cakes over his body.
And as he does that, Dax will kind of spin backwards with the sword in his hand and just stab the sword right into where he just froze with his Ray of Frost.
Sick. Rolled up.
+1.
Nat 20, baby!
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Let's
Let's go.
So I guess 32. I've already forgotten how
Dang.
Nat 20s work in this game.
That's a crit, bro.
+1 though, if that makes it a crit. But
Oh, that would make it a crit.
Yeah,
That's
so yeah,
32.
it would be a 33.
Roll it up, dude, and add that extra damage dice.
Fantastic.
Okay, so there's another thing though, because I have this could be cool. Let's see. I have weapon tricks now as of level 5. So I have new critical specializations with my weapons and my striking sword. The target is made off balance by your attack, becoming flat-footed until the start of your next turn.
Okay,
So
great.
for a whole round, it'll be flat-footed against everybody, which is dope.
That makes sense with like all the ice caked over him and everything.
Waltz, we have a
Kinda
window,
playing with
man. We've got a window.
Let's do it, gangsters.
He's flat-footed. We got the bonus from Jules. Like this is a.
Oh, and then I'll get sneak attack because he's being flanked, so he was already flat-footed. Okay, here we go.
Nice.
Okay.
Holy crap, okay.
Dude, the team is teaming.
Let's
Teaming so
attack
hard
this
right now.
it's abilities.
It's working! It's working! 38 damage?
Holy
Yeah, 38 damage.
And you're down by his feet, right? Like this is like
my
a little
Yeah.
kobold fighting a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Dex just casted a spirit bomb.
My goodness. He got inside.
So when you damaged it with this ice beam, it looks upwards and just roars, and you see its tail that was behind him, obviously out straight. As he retracts, he starts to like whip it up towards him, just kind of like tensing everything up, and you see this tail coming, jump and land on top of it and sort of ride its momentum upwards and like run off of it and jump into the air, and then raise your sword above its head and stab it into the same wound again, and then just tear it down as like all these icy shards like fall off, and the T-Rex is stumbling as you like hit the mud and like roll and slide, and it staggers and widens its stance and looks extremely damaged, but is still alive. But sick turn, my dude.
That makes up for like the 4 rounds that we did absolutely
No
nothing.
joke. I can't believe that.
Absolutely.
That was much needed. That'll
That
take
was
us
like
through
and there's
every
nobody-
possible
and-
bonus.
And there's nobody on its back. I don't understand.
Weird. We need to get on its back.
I was convinced.
Can you imagine?
Ryan was convinced.
That'll take us to Waltz.
There you go, Dax. Nice shot. And I'll take my shield with both hands, and I want to cast Electric Arc again, but in the form of like a shield bash. So maybe like charging
sick.
it right on contact, like smack him in the
okay.
face.
Heck yeah.
So
Get
it'll
him,
make a
Waltz.
reflex save. But you said he's flat-footed, so he probably takes a lot of like negative circumstance bonuses, right?
Probably,
Status
yeah.
penalties. Sweet.
Does a 19 beat that?
It says DC 19.
So he meets it, so. Okay. So your shield charges up with electricity, and you're raising it over your head to try and swing it as it's dancing all around you, charging up for this attack. And the T-Rex, very much on the defensive, sees you coming and quickly just sweeps its tail towards you and then strikes you slightly in the shoulder and sends you off balance, and then your shield stabs into the mud and it loses its electrical power as you miss the attack.
Do I still have it in my hands?
Yeah, just a flavor description, you know?
Okay. From the mud, Waltz will just try and uppercut him with the shield and just do a basic shield bash with
Okay.
Everstand Strike. So
Relentless.
if it hits, it goes right back to the shield raised position.
Okay, roll it up.
Oh, 21.
But he is flat-footed, and that
thank goodness.
hits.
Dude.
Yeah.
Because we missed with 21 before. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Nice. Do it, Waltz.
9 damage.
There you go, buddy.
Wow. All right, so you just smash this shield really hard, like in one of the places with like chipped ice all over him, and it rips off some of his tough, scaly skin, and you deal a great deal of damage as it lets out another growl.
Let's go, Dax. Hit him with another one of those. And then that'll end my turn.
That'll take us to Reynard, who just kicked off that tree, landed, was like bitten in the leg, and almost flung to his death.
All right, I now have a movement speed of 40 feet, and
There we go.
I'm going to sprint towards the T-Rex. I'd like to shout out to see if I can get the aid action from
Yeah.
Waltz.
I'm definitely willing to do that.
Waltz, I'm going to try and jump off of your shield. As I just sprinted.
sick.
So I want
Nice.
you to basically, I don't know, would that be like athletics for him, or to like push
Yeah.
me off of the shield? I want to just go for the weak spot that we keep attacking and just try and drill my blade as a confident finisher, so guaranteed damage.
Ooh, sick. Okay, yeah. Roll me an athletics check, Waltz.
Okay, and I have Cooperative Nature, which gives me +4 circumstance bonus on checks to aid.
What? Sick.
Let's
Whoa, you guys using teamwork.
Let's
You guys using Pathfinder, dude.
I've been wanting to use this forever.
Guys.
Since
Okay.
episode 1, I've been saying, Zach, let me use this thing.
Okay, all right, dude. It's like we didn't even know aid was a thing, and then Josh goes on here and like reads a little, and he's like, "Hey, let's do it."
All right,
Roll it up.
athletics check. 22.
Dude, sick. Okay, roll your attack roll, and I'll describe this all as one.
All right.
Yeehaw.
Am I adding anything from the aid? Is that just a regular success?
Just tell me what you get, and I'll figure it out.
I will roll the attack. Precise strike. 32, and the damage is so much damage.
Okay, well, hold on. He is flat-footed, and you got the +2 from Waltz's aid.
Yeah, baby.
So that's going to be a crit. So Waltz, you hear Renard call out to you, and he wants to run off your shield. You're already holding the shield with 2 hands. You get down on one knee as you see Renard coming. Renard sprints through the mud, weaving through the legs of the T-Rex as he's fighting the rest of Digsby's crew. You go to jump, lift up one leg, and Waltz pushes like this intensely powerful overhead press and flings you into the air as you do a spin through the air and raise the sword above your head and roll me damage.
Do it.
53 piercing damage.
Yeah.
Plus one.
God.
54 piercing damage. 54, baby.
And
Did you actually just say that?
and you bring the sword down perfectly as you're above the T-Rex's head and stab it deep into its eye, into its brain as you're holding on as this T-Rex wobbles back and forth as you're holding on with your sword, wobbling along with it. Pull it out just as it begins to stumble to the side, spinning through the air and landing confidently in the ground as the waning T-Rex behind you tumbles to the ground and collides, picking up mud just as lightning strikes and the rain comes down with this massive thud, and you have defeated the
Craziness.
I'm just going to like breathe heavy for a second and then fall on my back. Let the rain hit my face. Oh.
Well done, Don Reynardo.
Tuff will also relax his shoulders and reholster his gun and just wipe a whole bunch of rain off his forehead. That could have been way worse.
Jules kind of falls back on a tree and slides down to a seated position, lays his head back on the tree, and says, "Good work, boys."
Dax is panting super heavily, grabbing his rib with the sword just kind of in his hand, but just rested on the ground, and he'll just fall to his knees, exhausted, barely alive, and just slowly look around at everybody. Seems like everybody is in a pretty bad state, and he'll just stay there for a minute.
Zoki comes out of the brush.
That was incredible, Don Reynard.
Do you have my guitar?
Yes, I do.
And she takes it out like she was actually taking perfect care of it and hands it to you gracefully, almost like bowing as she does
I'm
it.
just gonna stay laying there on the ground, just like, I don't know. He's kind of overwhelmed with just the sense of like we survived. At one point, it had me in its mouth, and he's just gonna start playing guitar to himself, just like he just needs to be in the moment and not thinking about anything else. Just he's at the planet where the Flora de Vida is, so there's some kind of, I don't know, sense of he's a step closer than he's ever been.
Tuff will take a moment to just think to himself after seeing what Don Renard and Dax both just did, like insane amounts of wrecking this T-Rex, and just think to himself that he might have underestimated them and that they're two much more dangerous figures than he once took them for.
Waltz will look around and he'll just be really proud of the group that he's a part of for taking that thing down. Once they got the hang of it kind of seamlessly. And I'll just kind of relax my shoulders and stand in the rain, I think, for a while.
Dax will eventually stand back up and do one last look around at everybody, and his eyes will rest on the T-Rex, and he's going to walk up to the side of the T-Rex and put his hand on it and just listen to confirm that this thing is dead. You know, it fell over. He doesn't want to just assume this thing is done. He's been burned before on Dracus, you know, too quickly assuming that they're out of harm's way. So, yeah, he's just gonna take a second to make sure that this thing isn't breathing.
Yeah, you can roll me a perception check.
25.
Yeah, instantly you can tell it's not breathing, and you're just admiring the precision of Don Renard's strike, and then also looking at how much damage your Ray of Frost did, and you just are like really proud of Digsby's crew and just like how you all work together in that moment, and then also kind of snap out of it and just see that you're all standing in the rain at night in this jungle, and like obviously everyone's pretty beat up, so you either need to decide if you're going to pursue this Flora de Vida with all haste or find shelter. But obviously you see like Digsby's crew kind of just rejoicing in this victory at the moment.
Jules is like I said, leaning up against the tree. I don't know if he's fully aware at this point of everything that's going on. I don't know if he's fully coherent, because I imagine his breathing is pretty labored and painful. I'd imagine being stomped by a T-Rex might have broken some ribs or something. I don't know. And then just the adrenaline rush of like being incapacitated, coming back, the amount of action that just took place, and then suddenly it's come to a close. So he's not like passed out, but he's just got his eyes closed, just resting, I guess, and trying to calm down and come down from that.
After looking at the T-Rex, kind of confirming what he thought, he'll look. His eyes will rest on Jules for a minute, just seeing, you know, what he went through. That he went down, went unconscious for a minute during that fight. He'll reach into his bag and pull out his healer's gloves that he got from that care package. Slip them on as he walks over to Jules, and he'll kneel down. You know, Jules, that was a really brave thing you did. Stupid, but brave. And he'll put a hand on his shoulder and activate the healer's gloves, restoring max 19 hit points.
Oh, wow. As Dax is doing that, Jules will open his eyes just slightly to see his friend and kind of chuckle, maybe cough a little bit. Kind of hurts to laugh and say, maybe so. You would have done the same for me, no? You're taking a while to answer. I'll just assume that you're hard at work, focused on what you're doing. Ow, 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 ow.
Yeah, you're probably right. I probably would have done that, but I bet I would have hid right.
Spoken like a true
Fair
rogue.
enough. That's fair enough.
Glad you're here, buddy.
Thank you, Dax. And then, as you continue to give him aid, he'll come more to, and eventually you can help him stand up, and he's feeling much more invigorated, doing much better. I saw what you did a moment ago. Holy sh**. Dax, that was amazing.
Things just kind of lined up. I don't know if it was the adrenaline or what, but I mean, Don Renard too.
I saw that as well.
Things worked out
Yeah,
when
he
they
jumped
needed
off
to.
my shield.
Your words were very inspiring, my friend. I think this was not possible if not for all of us. A majestic and dangerous creature, this one.
I'll be honest, the way things went down at the node and like the way that fight started, you guys didn't really look like much of a team. I mean, I don't know what keepers are or whatever, but like that was quite the finish.
Do you have a bigger gun?
Yeah, Tough,
Yeah,
what
what
was
was
that
that?
about? Why are you just now using that?
You never mentioned that earlier. Well,
You guys
I
have
haven't
never
been here
seen
long, I
Tuff's
guess.
shafts before?
You'll notice Tuff is still up in a tree, realizing that he blasted himself up on a branch 30 feet in the air with his rocket boots.
Do you need me to get a fire truck or something?
Yeah, cat's stuck in the tree.
Very funny, very funny. Yeah, I'm working on a way down. And Tuff will shoot out his extendable tail, stick the end into a tree branch, and then propel down the side of the tree, the full length of the 20 feet of the tail, and then just jump off at the bottom.
Very cool.
So what are we doing? I mean, I don't really want to stick around and see if we get ambushed by more dinosaurs. So, what's going on?
I think we will need to find shelter and a place to recuperate.
Aye.
Zach, you said there was a cave right by us, right?
Did I?
Yeah, you said there's this nice, safe little cave.
Yeah, it was called
yeah,
Motel
yeah.
6 or something.
And it had a couple people there. They
Yes.
They had a
service
merchant.
food and yeah.
I think there's a cave over there. Going down. Wow.
Did she really say that there's a cave?
Yeah,
She did.
yeah.
That says,
Yeah, it's a fantastic idea. Let's make shelter there for the night.
as I'm getting up and we kind of are gathering ourselves to move towards the cave, I would like to talk to Zoki.
Okay.
I think he's just a little shaken because that was like such a seeing Raul and then facing something like that is a little it just jarred his sense of being the first person syndrome, you know what I mean, of his story.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like, oh gosh, I could just straight up die.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, Zoki, I may not survive this adventure.
What do you mean? I mean, you're incredible.
I am that. You're good for noticing. But I would ask something of you if I do not make it all the way. I have no right to ask you, but you're the only person I can think to ask. You have accompanied me for some time, briefly, and I have promised you money. If I do die, please take my sword and guitar, and Cervantes, I'm sure, can take you back to my home. He will take you to my family, and you can let them know what has happened. If should we get the Flor de Vida, take that as well. Would you do this for me?
But I thought you said none of us. Your home, it's beautiful, and none of us would ever see it. But you trust me?
You may not look. You may not be. You're not a very pretty.
Whoa, just where are you going with this?
The inside of you is as beautiful as anything I have ever seen.
Okay, I'll take it.
You have, a heart that would belong in the sky. I do not think it would be unfair for you to see it. It would be nice for someone to see it at size. I would like to see it again. Anyway, he's just all kind of melancholy after that experience.
Yeah. She's like, so just hop on this thing, huh? And she gestures to Cervantes, who is walking up and nudging you and kind of like, almost like with his beak, like giving you like a little punch in the chest, like, hey man, like we did that. That was pretty crazy, right? Kind of thing.
Cervantes, it is good to be a team again. I was half a man without you. Okay, so he has a daughter, Reynard.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like similar in size at the very least, if not age, to Zoki.
Okay.
Could there be like a little signal that he gives Cervantes and be like what he would do, like to like pick up his kids, like to just like come and like play with them, and then could he kind of give the signal for Cervantes to like pick up Zoki and put her on his back?
Yeah, you give Cervantes the signal, and he looks at Zoki and then tilts his head at you like, really? Her?
Much has changed between us, and do you still remember how?
He looks down almost like he's thinking, and then looks up with his eyes really wide, like, heck yeah, I do. And then he just runs around Zoki in a few circles as she's like getting nervous, like, whoa, what the heck? And then he just dips under her legs and like scoops her up into the air, and then she like lands on his back, and then he kicks off into the ground and then just starts to fly around in a circle a bit. She's like, whoa, 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 oh my gosh. And then he, after doing a few like acrobatic tricks, comes and like slides to a stop and then gracefully opens his wings so she can step down. Okay, whoa. I don't think oh my gosh. Like her hair's all messed up and she's like breathing all heavy.
It is good that you held on. You could have broken something if you fell, and you'll die if he flies any higher. Good job.
Oh, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. I'll get the Flor de Vida to your family. Just don't do that again.
A true friend there is not. Thank you, Zoki.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's get in the cave. I think we could all use a rest, and this rain is awful.
And she starts wandering towards the cave.
Jules will walk up to Tough and put his hand on his shoulder. Actually, you know what? He's just gonna straight up give him a hug.
Whoa, hey. What's this all about?
And then he'll pull him away. I'll say, close call, eh? Thanks for bringing me back, mate.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, I've got your back, right?
And I yours.
Darn right you do,
And
and I
then-
spank him on the butt.
Whoa! Easy there.
Hey, you're the one that got all touchy.
Fair enough. Jules will take his ocarina out and he'll kind of shake it in his palm. You know, Tough, this ocarina has been passed down in my family for generations.
Yeah, I remember.
He'll look to the T-Rex, laying on the ground. If anything were to happen to me, and then he'll turn to look to Tough right in the eyes, promise me that you'll see it returned home to Sidonia, to my family.
I think Tuff's initial reaction here is to be sarcastic and play it off as like, some sort of joke or something, but thinking back to losing Dunadas and wishing he had the opportunity to do him a favor, or even just thinking about that loss in general, and Jules just kind of shoving in his face that potential to lose another friend is still there. And I'll just say, yeah, of course, you got it, but make sure that doesn't happen, okay?
I'll do my best. With you around, I should be tip-top shape, no?
Darn right. And with this puppy around, and I take my newly made gun off my back. Did you see what I did with it?
I did. That was so cool.
And it worked first try. Can you believe it?
Never doubted you for a second.
Well, if I'm totally honest, I doubted myself a little bit. It had about a 50-50 chance of just exploding in my face as it did actually firing.
That also sounds accurate, yes.
But, you know, when you're fighting giant T-Rexes, you know what they say.
Wouldn't something about pans and fire?
You got it. And I give him another spank on the butt.
Spanking
Yeehaw!
Definitely becoming a sexier podcast. Good spanks.
Waltz will look to Dax and say, Dax, you see I shot lightning out of my shield.
Yeah, where'd that come from? Is that from the ley line,
Oh,
too?
no idea if I'm being honest, but pretty cool.
Yeah, Waltz, I mean, we've certainly changed a lot since we first met, haven't we? Dax will pull up both of his hands, and one of them will glow a little bit frosty, and one of them will glow a little bit fiery.
Icy hot.
Yeah.
If you got back pain, taxes, you guys.
He's just getting everybody back rubs.
Hey, episode 1 callback. Who was trying to get Digsby a massage? Oh, yeah. Digsby would have
It all
loved
comes
this.
full
He's so
circle.
proud.
Yeah, Dax, you've always had really cool attacks. You remember back forever ago when we attacked that Drake, what was its name? Rhaegorn. Yeah, you had that giant crossbow. You remember that thing?
Yeah, I mean, that was all thanks to Dunadas. Man, I missed that
Oh,
guy.
yeah. Yeah, it even had a force field around it. You remember your little force field for a bit?
Good times.
Good times.
Are you guys going to stand out in the rain all day? Zogi's like standing in the cave. Like, what the heck? Come on.
Well, fellas, what do you say? Get rested up? Don Renard, any idea where we're headed tomorrow?
I know where we will go. I know the direction of the Flor de Vida, and I am certain we are on the right path. This was confirmation. You're truly warriors of renown. And my friend, Tough, I underestimated you, and I hope you can forgive me for threatening to kill you all.
Yeah, I suppose you're not so bad yourself. But that might hinge on your answer to my next question. Are you trying to tell me that when you were pointing your sword with your eyes closed, you could tell where the flora fajita or whatever it's called is?
Gosh darn it, that's as good as Roboto. Shoot.
The flora fajita.
Oh, man. As we're like kind of talking and get like, I don't know, setting up camp or whatever to like rest and recuperate, I'll tell Tough and to kind of tell everybody, the Flor de Vida is a part of me. It's a part of my home, and I know it is near, and I'm certain of where we must go, and I am certain that we will find it tomorrow.
And that is where we end our session. We did it, guys. The party, defeated the T-Rex, and hopefully tomorrow getting the floor. Man, look at all
my
that bonding and
gosh.
all that stuff. Oh, hold on. Whoa.
Josh, how about
Shut
that
it.
attack you
Yeah,
did?
Zach
Wasn't
didn't
that
want to
crazy?
record this
You're
episode
egging him on.
tonight.
You're
You wanted to
yeah,
let
Josh
Josh
is
know.
new, and I can't be quite as mean to
Joel,
Josh, but everyone
really-
just shut up. Because we're going to talk about in the downhand, which is for patrons to react to the most recent episode, because we got a lot to talk about on that one. And yeah, so just want to read a couple comments and reviews and all that stuff, just so you know we see them. All right, and I'm going to read the first Apple Podcast review we got ever. And this was
Which is
like,
appropriate because we missed our anniversary.
yeah, we
Yeah.
did actually. Yeah, it was on 4/20.
Yo.
Okay,
Happy anniversary,
and
guys.
this review came like 2 days after we released episode 1 or whatever. So this person heard 1 episode and they're like, I'm gonna give these guys 5 stars and write this review. So I just want to shout this person out, and I gotta butcher the name. And it says their name is But Dishonestly Pie. And they said, so glad I found this podcast. Fantastic energy at the tabletop so far. Really cool setting concept, and the sound design is immaculate. That's actually really cool to hear, because that's like we got better over time, and they said this at episode 1.
For sure.
So
nice.
glad to see the Pathfinder system getting more actual play podcast coverage as well. What a hidden gem. Super stoked to see how the podcast goes moving forward. So yeah, hopefully, but dishonestly Pie, you're still sticking with us. because that was after one episode. Maybe they heard episode 2 and they're like, never mind, they suck.
How fun it
But
would
hey,
be if they
you're
were.
still here. Yeah, if you're still here, like 50 episodes or so, I hope you're enjoying the show. Thank you for just jumping on the opportunity to give us a good review and help us out. Really appreciate it. And we will see you next time, mortals.
All right, where should I start?
This is the longest. I'm keeping this in. What are you
It
talking
really
about?
is.
Oh shoot!
Should I re-describe this thing?
No, you didn't.
I don't even know where to go in right now.
Oh no, Zach's on the
I don't know
floor.
where I should interject. I don't even know where I left off.
Can we just restart the episode?
Can we restart the
I
episode?
swear, we're 19 minutes and 30 seconds in, and we
I
have
know.
maybe
The
3
T-Rex
minutes
is
of
not our
podcast.
primary enemy in this
This is all
encounter.
my
It is
fault
our
for sure. This is on me.
Hello.
No, I'm like,
and
this is
welcome
genuinely
back to-
hilarious.
Oh.
Brad's like,
all
real
right.
quick, could I interject and do my 3 actions? It's only
Yeah, I should know.
Yeah, it's okay, Ryan. You can have my turn.
Leave it to Beaver, huh? All right. Well, I'm not even gonna worry about starting over. So I mean barrels instead of shafts. Just edit that so that it sounds
Perfect.